After a restful night in this super comfy bed that Liz had for me, I started my day with some coffee. In a nation of tea drinkers, they have mostly instant coffee, but that worked for me. While I slowly woke up over morning coffee, Liz and I chatted and she cooked a yummy breakfast. And after that, then it was time to get ready and go out and start morning chores. Hold up. Do you see that? Am I the only one who didn't realize that sheep naturally have long tails if they're not docked? We decided to hang out inside for a while because of the rain, but in the afternoon when it cleared, our friend Erica came over and we headed out to the food forest.
Yeah, watch your step. It's a little bit uneven. It's a bit windy, but it's lovely. It feels like fall. It's a little bit on the chilly side, colder than it is in Missouri at this time of year, but it's really not bad. And I'm just enjoying walking through this lovely garden that Liz has going on. This is her food forest. There's so much growing here, so much variety. It's pretty amazing. She has such a wealth of knowledge about plant names and how they grow. And I just have to remind myself that she's been doing this a lot longer than I have. Liz has just offered me this to have a taste of. This is called bergamot. And this is some of the flavor that's in Earl Grey tea. I don't even know how to describe it, but it's nice. It's a little bit spicy. Maybe even a little minty. I'm not sure though how I would describe it, but I love getting to try new things like this. She's constantly handing me things and going, here, take a taste of this, here, have a smell of this. Learning something all the time, every single day while I'm here. I'm also finding it really interesting to see the things that she has planted together. Trees, flowers, herbs, vegetables. It's pretty neat to see the beginning of this food forest, because I know that through the years it's just going to grow up so much, and I'll get to watch her videos and be like, I was there in the beginning. And it's really exciting to be here and see it happen. It makes me excited to go home and get in my garden. It makes me motivated to get in there and get some more things going. Sometimes I get kind of disheartened at the pace that my garden is going, and I just have to remember that everybody has to start somewhere, and the sooner I get back in there and get back to work, the sooner it's going to be the garden I want it to. And that's kind of one of the lessons that I've taken away from Liz here, is she just comes out and she works as she can, and she does a little bit, and every little bit counts, and slowly it turns into this beautiful thing. I would not expect this very tropical looking plant to be here in Wales, but it is. And I'm learning so much while I'm here from her about permaculture, about running or growing in a food forest, and it's really nice. And it's been also nice to get to hang out with Erica a little bit and chat, and then just walk around. And it's really interesting to see, compared to Liz's old property, which was much smaller and everything had to be grown really close together. Here she has things spaced out nicely, but I know that as it grows and develops over the years, that it's gonna be much more filled up than it is right now. So that's also really fun to look at.
As our day is coming to a close, it's time to put the ducks to bed. I really wanted to get some closer footage of the sheep, but these shy sheep were having none of it. I thought I was back far enough, but watch this. She sees me and going the other way. Then I thought I would get smart, and so I moved behind this fence, but that's as close as I could get to these girls. I actually filmed the introduction to this next part while I was in Wales, but as you can see, the camera was 100% out of focus, so I'm not even going to use it. I'm just going to tell you what I'm doing as I do it. I had been looking forward to making this meal for Liz and Mr. J for months. I was going to make them American style biscuits and gravy. So I've got the flour, the butter. Wait a minute. What am I doing? Oh my word, I can't believe I did this. I forgot to mix the butter into the flour before adding the milk. No wonder they didn't rise like they were supposed to. This whole time, I've been blaming it on Liz's gluten-free, self-rising flour, but I didn't actually follow the recipe right. I can't believe I'm doing this. Oh, that's hilarious. Well, they ended up tasting okay, but they did not rise like they were supposed to, and obviously there you can see it's because I did it wrong. I've made biscuits probably thousands of times in my lifetime, at least hundreds. I mean, you know, we're in the South. We have it fairly frequently. Oh. Alright, well, anyway, let's keep going. I knew the consistency wasn't right, so I tried adding some more flour. And, you know, maybe it needed more flour, but what it really needed was for the butter to be cut into the flour before the milk was added. After the dough was well mixed, I turned it out onto this floured surface, patted it into the desired thickness, and then cut the biscuits out with this cookie cutter. Liz is excited. She's over there getting the baking sheet ready for me. I tried to think of what is most, or what a comparison would be of an American biscuit, and the closest thing I can think of is a scone, but their scones are not usually made for like hearty, meaty meals. Like they wouldn't put a meat sauce over it, and I don't even think they have an equivalent of our American white gravy. They do make a white sauce, but it's not a meat sauce. So it's going to be a new experience for them. After placing the biscuits on the baking tray, then I brushed the tops with a little bit of melted butter just so they would turn a nice golden brown color while baking, and then it was time to pop them into the oven. While the biscuits were baking, I browned the pork sausage and set it aside, and then I made the gravy in the pan that I had browned the sausage in. So the way we make American gravy, for those of you who might be watching from somewhere else, is you start with a roux of butter or oil and flour, and you get that nice and brown, and then you pour in this case, milk. This is milk gravy. In some cases you might pour in water, but typically for biscuits and gravy it's going to be milk gravy, lots of pepper, lots of salt, and then once the gravy reaches the desired thickness, you want a nice thick gravy, then you're going to put the sausage back into it. After the biscuits come out of the oven, I'll cut them in half and serve them open-faced with the gravy poured over the top.
Oh, thank you so much.
Very American.
Okay. Breakfast.
Well, it's
Breakfast
also,
that's served as supper, but
Listen, I'm very good with breakfast at any time of day.
yep. All right, instead of serving myself, I want to watch for your reactions and see if there's any face.
we're being examined. This is like
We're
when
big
we
guinea pigs, aren't we?
when we had those potatoes and they were really hot, so we had to do some private blowing, didn't we?
Oh right, yeah. Definitely let it cool. Do not burn your mouth. I'll go ahead and fix my plate then. Just tell me before you take a bite. So I was telling Liz. Oh, you took a bite.
All right.
We're eating.
Okay. That the biscuits should be about twice as thick, so you get a lot more of the fluffy layers on the inside, but they're not bad. The taste is correct.
I'm shoveling it down, so I think it's fairly safe to assume I'm quite enjoying that. Yeah?
Yep, nice peppery pork.
Yum. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I ended the day sat in front of the fire with this lovely Welsh traditional tea cake, which I'm not even going to try to pronounce the name of, but it was quite enjoyable.